All right, so we'll get started. My name is Richard. I'm part of the sales team here at PSPDFKit. Appreciate everyone jumping on. We'll spend a little bit of time today going over PSPDFKit, kind of our history, how we came to the market, and some of the great things you can do with our framework. With me in the background today, I have Guillermo, who is one of our front-end web engineers. So if you do have any questions from the technical perspective, feel free to drop those in the chat. We're happy to answer those with documentation. We also will have everyone's email. So afterwards, if you'd like to set up a separate conversation, maybe a more in-depth demo of certain functionality, we can do that. But yeah, feel free to communicate in the chat, and Guillermo will answer those as quickly as possible, and we're happy to help. So great. I will go ahead and share my screen to get things kicked off. Okay. Let that come up. Okay, so I'm just on the home page. So to jump in, so PSPDFKit, we've been in the market for over 10 years, providing PDF support for different types of applications. We originated in the iOS space, quickly kind of pivoted and expanded into other mobile offerings such as Android. However, today we'll talk mostly about our web SDK, which is one of our more popular products as we see more organizations going with web-based, viewers and markup tools. But we do have a whole suite of functionality. In addition, we also have a ton of other tools in our portfolio as well that I'm happy to cover. So this is our website, pspdfkit.com. We've got a couple resources here that we'll talk about at the end in terms of how to get in touch with the sales team, how to do a free trial and things like that. So a little bit about us. So kind of talking to that history of what PSPDFKit does. Here in this left-hand column, you can see that over the years we have taken PDF support, rendering, processing, and put it in a number of different integration models. Everything from a web application, mobile apps, iOS, Android, Windows. We've bridged our native bindings over to, hybrid technologies like Flutter and React Native as we see development, moving in that direction. We also have, SDKs and frameworks for specific integrations for like Salesforce and SharePoint who don't have native PDF renders and stuff like that. We also have things on the server and the API side. So yeah, so today, talking mostly about our web SDK. As you see, there's a number of different components here. So when you're going to our website and navigating, to get started, you're able to spin up essentially a free trial of our framework. What this allows you to do is integrate our latest build and all functionality that we have. We want to mark the PDF very lightly, but you're able to basically get an idea of what we support. This time, it's not time limited. You have plenty of time to evaluate and make sure it is. But one of the things that you'll see is when you evaluate any product of ours, it has all our functionality enabled in it. However, when you move to a production license and talk to our sales team, part of the discovery that we do is kind of figuring out what's the best fit for you, so we can build a package that reflects your use case. So yeah, wanted to dive into some of these components today so you have a better idea of what you can do, some of the possibilities. Again, if you have any questions or are interested in if PSPDFKit can do this, feel free to drop it in the chat. So coming back to our main website, going to our web demo, this basically pulls up a number of different examples that our web framework supports. So in the top part, you'll see server backed and standalone. Our PDF SDK for web operates in two different integrations. One is a standalone integration, which means all the rendering and manipulation happens in the browser itself. So, in terms of deployment, there's not a lot of concerns. Everything happens fully client side. It's something you can get up, very quickly with not a lot of resources. Opposed to that, we have our server-backed integration, which comes with an additional server-side component that you integrate into your infrastructure. This is delivered as a Docker image that runs on Linux that hosts the PDFs on your server. So with that, we're able to do some pre-processing, some lazy loading, some server-side APIs, but we can definitely talk you into consulting. So great. So what you're looking at right here within this box is you're seeing what it would look like if you were using PSPDFKit in your web app today. So we have a standard toolbar. We have the ability to change the night and light mode. This top bar is simply something we've added and customized, but this is something you would see if you opened up a PDF in your web app. This is what the standard view would be like. One of the great things about PSPDFKit, when you look at our interface, is the ability to customize it. We obviously have done a lot of work on the UI to make things easy, but you might be in a scenario where you want to disable certain things. We work heavily in like DRM systems, publishing, where we might not want people to export these documents. So we're gonna remove the print icon. We're going to remove document editing, so I'm not able to manipulate the page. I'm also going to remove exporting. So you can see up here on the top right that like I'm taking away functionality that would normally be in the standard viewer. So you have quite a bit of flexibility here. Just being able to move where toolbar items. Maybe I don't like my panels there, so I'll move it over here. So everything we do is certainly super customizable, so you can match it to kind of the way your appearance of your application looks. So this comes into icon colors, things like that, background colors. You have quite a bit that you can do here. So being able to custom AMI and things like that. So we don't stop there. Obviously, being able to do things as sidebar customization. So if there's certain workflows that you want to do, and we like to provide you the ability to do that. So so if we're looking at our component list, this is all included in our viewer, which is our base component. It's what the SDK is built off of. Our viewer is arguably one of the fastest renderers in kind of the market currently. It's something we continue to iterate on. One of the benefits of our viewer is that it is built off of PDFU, which we forked off of, several years ago. And one of the benefits of doing this is, PDFU was purchased by Google, and it's Google's primary rendering engine for PDFs and applications like Chrome. So in terms of fidelity, security, it's top notch, and it's something that's allowed us to become SOC 2 Type 2 compliant. And we're really proud of what it's able to do. So a couple other neat viewer features. If you have a use case where you're just trying to be able to render PDFs in your application, being able to navigate through pages, zooming in and out. We work heavily in the construction industry, so being able to zoom in at high levels and still have good fidelity of the PDF and rendering quality is something that's important to us. What we were talking about with the customizations, we do have a search engine that allows you to search through a PDF and navigate that. Cool. Other than that, you can download, print as well. There's a lot of things here that you're able to do. With PDFs, there's a lot of different renderers and tools to view those in the market. So, we like to do we like to make an effort to do, Q&A with other things. So if you download a PDF from our renderer, you put it somewhere else, that would persist. So, certain things such as, looking at outlines of documents, because, what an outline allows you to do is, navigate through the PDF quite quickly. So, if there's an outline created in Adobe and you pull it into our SDK, you would be able to use that. Additionally, like you can have bookmarks, you can bookmark pages, so that you're able to refer to that, as well as, any type of annotation log. So if you change the PDF, we track that, and then seeing thumbnails of the PDF as well. So our viewer is also not only limited to PDFs. We've definitely extended support for other document types such as offices. So we convert those to PDFs, and then you'll be able to use it. So there's a Microsoft Word file. We also have things like Excel, and then PowerPoint as well that we can get into PDF format, so you can interact with them. Images as well, JPEGs, TIFFs, PNGs. What we're doing there is we're converting all those files to PDF and then rendering it, so you have a little bit more control, and you can use one kind of solution to kind of power your document workflow, which we know is super important. And one thing to note in all these examples, you have the ability to kind of upload your own documents and see kind of the experience with that. So that's our viewer. So we do have quite a people in our customer list that come to us for viewing PDFs. One of the core things, there are some open source tools in the market like PDF.js that does kind of an open source renderer. When you start to build on top of that, it does become kind of difficult due to lack of documentation. So we see a lot of people come to us with the initial requirement to mark up PDFs, annotate. So our annotation component has over 29 high-level features in it. It's super responsive. So yeah, happy to run through some of these. So in terms of looking at different types of annotations that we do, we, as you saw, you're able to do freehand drawing. We put an annotation inspector on every annotation type, so you're able to change colors, the backfill of the PDF itself, the opacity and things like that. So we provide a lot of flexibility around the annotation experience for you and your users. You can also, again, put things as certain defaults and things like that, highlighting, being able to highlight certain text. We also have the ability to select the text itself and then have a pop-up that will allow you to highlight. If you do make any mistakes, we can quickly erase them or get rid of them or something like that. So we have an eraser here if you need to undo everything rather than just deleting the annotation entirely by itself. So a couple other annotation types that are really commonly used with us. So image annotations, being able to upload an image and adding that on top of the PDF as an annotation type. Being able to add stamps. So we do have some pre-built stamps that you can use, to add to the PDF. We use the same stamp template as Adobe. So again, cross compatibility with the PDF renderers and viewers. Excuse me. But you also are able to put custom annotation types in that, so you have stuff specific to your workflow. Overall, we do try to do a lot of preset stuff that we see that's commonly used, but we also want to give you a lot of flexibility in being able to put your own touch on kind of how you use our framework. Other things, link annotations have become really popular. So being able to create like a link annotation here that would, kick out to maybe another website or another page of the PDF. So, I'll create this link annotation right here and make that. So now when I click here, it pulls me out to the website, which is quite nifty. So if you have like action items that you want to do on your PDF, you can do that. Shape annotations, you can see polygon here is something that we do. So you can create different types of shapes. Kind of going back to saying we work heavily in the construction industry. We have a cloud annotation type because that's something that is submitted. So, if you are evaluating PSPDFKit and there is anything that you see that, would be helpful for your use case or your industry, we'd love to hear about it. we're constantly improving. We have a large engineering team that is always looking for ways to improve performance, add customization options, add, new components. So if there is anything that you're missing, we'd really love to hear about it, either through, a support desk, if you're talking to, one of our sales team members, if you're an existing customer and you want to talk to your customer success representative, like they can help communicate that. So a couple other things. So like free text, you can type on the document. You're also able to, add a note annotation with customizations, but a lot here that you're able to do in terms of marking up the PDF when you're collaborating with other people. So yeah, I'll check the chat. Looks like we're good in terms of questions so far. So yeah, we'll keep moving on. So I mean, within the time we've spent already, we've covered viewing, we've covered annotations. I mean, that's really kind of just touching on only a couple things that people use this for. Moving from that, one of the key things that we see changing in the industry is signatures. During the pandemic and over the past few years, with the introduction of customers like DocuSign that use PSPDFKit, or we've seen that e-signature laws are now becoming more flexible to allow virtual signing. So we've done a lot of work here in terms of PDF forms and PDF signatures to support that. So if you do render an existing form with our renderer, we pick up those type of forms, what type of form fields they are, and then we help you kind of fill them out as well. So there's a lot of things that we can do here in terms of form filling. One of the things people ask us a lot about is like, so for these forms, I could manually fill them out. We also have a ton of APIs that you would be able to hook into. Those APIs allow you to essentially programmatically fill out the form upon rendering it. So if you did have first name, last name, email, and kind of your database, you could map those form fields to that. You could programmatically fill them out so that, as you're rendering the PDF, these things start filling out rather than having to do them in real time. So a really nice tool. And on the other side, as you, export the document, you download it, whatever your workflow is, you would be able to, map that back and collect that information and do what you need with it. So, a lot of flexibility there, being able to do the information. And so, in terms of, PSPDFKit, it is a fully self-hosted product. Nothing pings back to us. We are a big believer in, security and, you owning your own data. So, when you deploy PSPDFKit, you're able to kind of control where the data is coming into the document and where the document leaves as well. So yeah, that sounds great. So as you see, there's a signature box. So our SDK is acknowledging that, there is a signature field on the PDF. So when I click on it, it pulls our signing UI, which is quite nice. So, I can sign with my mouse. Then what did it do? It was auto fit that to the signature field. If I wanted to, add another signature field, let's say I actually needed two, our SDK will actually allow you to, create form fields as well. So, I come to my form creator, I've got these different options here. So, I might want to pick another signature block, size it, and then we can, do some things in terms of the fill color so I can match what my other one is. So I'm able to kind of build out signatures either programmatically again. So, most of this stuff I'm doing is with a signature UI. However, everything we do allow you to apply programmatically through an API or something like that. So, I can download this, I can upload it, And so now you can see the flattened form. So this is just an electronic signature. So what we're doing is basically affixing a annotation to the form field type. PSPDFKit can also support digital signatures. We have a number of different types of signature types. So what you would be able to do is you can see that there's a signature. So I'm able to sign here again, being Joe, applying it. And then, with this custom workflow, I'm finishing the signing, and then the certificate has been applied. And so when anyone renders the document in our renderer or somewhere else, you can see that it's been digitally signed and all signatures are validated. So, we're able to help there. With any digital signature, if our renderer does recognize that there is a digital signature on the PDF, we will verify and validate it with our viewer and some other components. We also allow you to apply it. Additionally, what's quite nice is if someone comes in and edits the PDF, we immediately invalidate the signature and at least notify everyone on the document that it's been altered or modified since it's been signed. So something that's becoming more and more popular. We're also working on more functionality around digital signatures as well, as we have a lot of customers requesting, more functionality and more thorough, ability to apply these signatures. So, yeah, super interesting. So, yeah, coming back to our feature list, we're making our way through a lot of this, viewing form creators, signatures. I know a lot of people have pivoted to us because of using other tools like Adobe for things like merging documents and things like that. So, we allow you to edit the document within PSPDFKit. So, the idea really is around using an SDK, versus like a third-party tool, is control of the document is huge. So, if you are using a third-party signature solution or using a desktop app for your PDF rendering, part of your workflow is, downloading that document or sending that document to someone else's server. With PSPDFKit, you're able to, bring that in, keep control of the document workflow, so you don't have to download. So this has a number of, benefits, not only related to security of the document and control of the document, but it also just in terms of time spent. Am I downloading it? Am I sending it to a desktop app? Am I having to do it in the desktop app? Then I have to email everything back. So there's a lot here that you can do with bringing kind of document support in here. So so the documenter allows you to do that. We can even crop images and things like that. I see some stuff happening in the chat. I know Guillermo will help us out with answering those questions as well. So one thing we've been working on quite a bit lately is something called content editing. So content editing is the ability to, with PSPDFKit, a lot of the stuff you're doing is you're adding annotations to a PDF. You're adding something to already an existing document as an additional layer. Our work on content editing allows you actually to edit the PDF itself, the underlying layer. So you would be able to, if you had a document that maybe a comma was off or a decimal place, or you have a form, you're able to actually come in here and edit the documents. So maybe I wanted to remove this S, but rather than going back to the core document, maybe unconverting it or something, now I'm able to overwrite the existing document and change it, which saves a ton of time because, one of the things about PDFs is, typically when something's in PDF, it's in its final version. So to update a PDF on the fly can be quite difficult. So, one of the things we've done with text or content editing is being able to provide more flexibility to be able to actually edit the documents as well. So really excited for this and more to come on that. For sure. Cool. Let's see, Guillermo's typing. So I assume he's going to answer some questions about the form filling and the digital signatures. And we'll go over in the last couple of minutes where there's, other resources for documentation, how to navigate the website and stuff. Okay, that's cool. Great. Appreciate all the questions. Getting into a couple more niche use cases of PSPDFKit that we see, going back into our web demo, we do have a redaction tool that is commonly used in a lot of workflows where, when you're redacting something from a PDF, basically you want to permanently remove that information from the document itself. A lot of tools in the industry will simply put a annotation on top of the document and then flatten it. So, before we move this, you can see it, like each signer has, part of this. So what they'll do is they'll flatten this. And then when they open up the document, it looks like it's been removed. However, one of the concerns with, people who, or products that do that is when you search signer, it's still pulling it because it's not removing the document. So one thing that our redaction tool does is it will permanently remove that from the PDF, so that when I search for signer now, I'm only getting 2 results up here instead of 3. So it's a really powerful tool. It's got a couple different ways to go about redacting, which, we can do an area redaction where we just redact an area. We have search and redact, so you're able to come in and search for certain strings. So like you can preview if you want. So like we've also built in some smart redaction tools where it'll go ahead and find certain things in the document to be able to, suggest like here are things that you should, and that's called smart redaction. So yeah, we're super excited about some of the functionality that poses to customers and things like that. Not sure of what everyone's use cases are, but we do have some more niche stuff that we've brought. When you look at PSPDFKit, we have a solutions page. So you can see some of the industries we commonly work with: aviation, construction, education, legal, government. What we do with some of these pages is, obviously we highlight some of the big customers that we work with that are relying on our technology, but we also give you use cases of how you can use PSPDFKit. So for, engineering, viewing and marking blueprints, using forms for punch lists, signing off on documents, comparing documents, even measuring distances. And then we even make some suggestions here at the bottom of like what components we think are our best fit, or kind of giving you an idea of what we see with other customers that are using how other customers are using our framework. So like if you happen to fall within one of these solution types, like take a look. If you're working in the government sector or have a client that works in the government sector, you can see like different ways and different components we definitely think you should suggest. But looking at the demo, comparing documents, what we're trying to do is essentially align documents so that we can tell. So I have one document, I have my second document that you can see is at a different positioning. So maybe it got scanned in incorrectly. So I'm realigning them, and then what it does is it also shows me all the difference is between the vector-based drawing. So I can see the difference between the drawings of like essentially where the blue and the red meet, of like what's different there. So that's something we brought to like engineering drawings. We've also brought something called measurements, which allows you to calibrate and then also measure the distances between 2 points. So being able to pull in the distances between 2 points after it's calibrated and things like that, that seems to be really something that's become popular for some of our clients and and customers who serve their clients in the construction and engineering space. So cool. So we're about 2/3 through. So typically the last 15 minutes, just want to give some helpful tips on how to navigate talking to the team and things. So all through the website, you're going to see logos of different customers that are utilizing PSPDFKit. So, in terms of, again, the solutions page, you'll see this of different solutions. You can see all the different products, our web product, all the things that it supports, our mobile SDK and all the things that it supports. Also our server-side tools. If you have any kind of server-side process, like if you need to programmatically convert Office files to PDFs, if you need to programmatically convert HTML to PDF, we have a number of tools that can do that, both hosted and self-hosted. If you're looking for pricing, there's a couple different avenues. You can schedule a call with our team to get you set up with a demo. You can email us directly. But ultimately, we want a little bit of information, what SDK you're using too. And then, we have a distributed team around the world. So, obviously getting you set up with somebody in your time zone. So we can do that. Yep. At the end of this, I'll put my email as well. If anyone wants to email me directly, if you need help with anything, I'm always happy to help. If you need to speak with anybody. So other resources, that we put. So we have a blog that can be helpful in terms of, certain things that you might be trying to think. Our documentation is not gatekept, so you're able to come in here. Today, we talked mostly about our web standalone SDK. So coming into the guides, you can see all the stuff. I saw questions about signatures. So, you can see the different supported methods of digital signatures. I saw stuff about forms. So you could see the overview of what we do with forms, what type of form fields we do. So check boxes, things like that. And then we also list our APIs as well that you can take advantage of here. So if you want to do anything programmatically, so a lot of information. Cool. And so last thing, before I kind of open it up to more questions, or if anybody wants to see anything specific. So we do like to showcase one of our flagship components called PSPDFKit Instant. So commonly with PSPDFKit Instant, and just it's basically a collaboration engine that allows people to collaborate on documents at the same time. So when you think about it, it's very much similar to something like Google Docs, where typically with PDFs you expect one person, a second person. What Instant allows you to do, it essentially allows multiple people to collaborate on a document in real time. So what I'm able to do now is I'm able to put threaded comments on PDFs. And so what this does is it allows me to put something on the PDF. As I comment on it, everyone who has access to the document gets a real-time kind of notification that this is happening. You have a threaded comment. You can @mention people. So, kind of a way of bring PDF more into a current workflow. And so what's happening is every time we talk on the document or annotate it, it's sending a message back to your server to update the document. So really cool. So, if you're moving from different devices, if you want everyone to be working on the latest version, Instant is a fantastic tool to use. We've even gotten to the point of doing public and private annotation types so that you're able to have your own working copy. Maybe you're sitting in a board meeting, maybe you're a teacher and you're working with students, but there's a lot here that allows you to interact and work with different people on the same document. So you can see here we're updating the form, and in real time, anyone updated anyone with access is getting that update as well. So yeah, it's a very powerful tool, super easy to get set up. So we're very excited. We're happy to kind of talk anyone through that. So let's see. We've got a couple more questions coming in, it seems. In the form example, can you set permissions to specify modifying the specific document? It looks like Guillermo's typing right now. That was great. But yeah, I mean, we welcome any questions on the framework itself. We've got a ton of resources here, a ton of things we can do. Again, we even have kind of a hosted PDF API tool that you can do a number of different things to send it documents and it'll convert watermarks. So that's something people can look into. But we've also within our portfolio have a couple other companies that do stuff more related to SharePoint, Salesforce, and things like that. So great. So I have a PDF example pages table that come on. Yeah. Yep, you can do that. I do this for field too. Yeah, so everyone's asking about samples and things like that. The examples I'm using today, a lot of these are located in our guides, and we also give GitHub links as well that allows you to pull up some of these examples that we do. So customizing the sidebar. So I can put a link quickly in here about the demo. So anything you've kind of seen that we've demoed today that might be close to what you're doing, you can come in here and it will pull you to our guides, which will also allow you to see any customization on how to do that. We also are happy to do any pre-sale support. We have a number of engineers and solutions engineers that are happy to kind of help you achieve the vision. Being an SDK, we get a lot of questions on is it possible, and with the flexibility to provide it commonly is. So yeah, is there anything else we can help out with? I'll post my email below. If anyone wants to follow up directly with me, I'm happy to connect you with the right people. We'll support. Yeah, so the stuff with the combining and stuff, yes, you would be able to. So coming into the document editor feature, you can come and import documents. So I can pick a lot of things, and then you can go pick from your Finder, your database, and you would be able to combine multiple PDF forms. Yes, you can flatten the PDF. You have control over flattening. Can we span number of pages dynamic using the API call? Yeah, for sure. So, I mean, if you wanted to programmatically add, a cover page or a page after everything, you could use the APIs for our document editor to do that. Yeah, which is a great feature. Yeah, so again, like a lot of the stuff we do, we open up the ability to either do it programmatically or through the UI. So these are very common use cases. Yeah. Okay, awesome. Well, it looks like we're in a good spot. Anybody, please feel free to reach out to me. I'm happy to connect you with anyone on our team. It's been a pleasure talking to everybody, and look forward till next time. Thanks again.